Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Shelby, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, September 24th, 2017, time 4:16 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support, for continue encouraging my support, and continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area. I'll continue to further my education at Monroe College online, pursuing my social research, studying business administration, concentration, marketing. And the music you hear in the background is Radio Africa Online. It's Radio Africa Online. I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna do my Instagram. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Shelby, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, September 24th, 2017, time 4:17 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support, for your continued encouragement and support. And music here in the background is Radio Africa Online. I want to first always give thanks to God for all His blessings and guidance. Now I'm doing my Periscope. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Shelby, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, September 24, 2017, time 4:23 a.m. First, I thank you all my fans, my support for the continued encouragement and support. The music here in the background is Radio Africa Online. Radio Africa Online. Turn the music down. Okay, right now. Now we're going to continue to talk about African traditional religion. As you know, African traditional religion being taught in institutions higher learning means colleges and universities in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, you can earn a bachelor's degree, master's degree, you can earn a PhD studying African traditional religion. Now, No, today gonna be one of them days. This week, today and tomorrow gonna be map day. There you go. Now, hold on. This book right here, temporarily. This button. Now, one of the books we're gonna continue to read from and refer to is titled West African Traditional Religion, and written by Dr. Joseph Omasede Belenu and Dr. P. Adalumo Mpemu. Another book we're going to continue to read from and refer to is titled African Traditional Religion and Definition, written by Dr. E. Baloja Adowu. Another book we're going to continue to read from and refer to is titled African Religions and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M. Beebe. Another book we're going to continue to read from and refer to is titled Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M. Beebe. Excuse me. Now, since we were talking about sub-Saharan Africa and the continent of Africa in general, this is the African language distribution map. This is the African language distribution map. And this is the other half of the map. And on the side there, it tells you what the colors represent. Now, that blue color, it represents the Afro-Asiatic. Let's see here. The blue color, yeah, I can see it over there. The blue color represents the Afro-Asiatic. The yellow color represents the Nilo-Saharan. Now the light orange color represents the Niger-Congo A. And wait a minute, no, that's the dark orange. That's the dark orange color. Excuse me. Dark orange color represents the Niger-Congo A. The light orange color represents the Niger-Congo B, the band 2. Now the green color. Excuse me. That green color, it represents two groups of people. The Quay people are the pastoralists, and the Sand people are the hunter-gatherers. Now, over there on the island of Madagascar, that purple, lavender color, that's the Austronesians. The Austronesians are the people that live in Indonesia. And the people that live in Indonesia, they what they call it, migrated, they colonized and settled the island of Madagascar. They are not the original inhabitants of the island of Madagascar. Now, I didn't have time to get myself a manicure, so excuse my fingernails, excuse my nails, please, excuse my nails. Now we're gonna come back to some more maps, later on when cause we're gonna get into some issues that we want to get into, that we want to address. You understand? And okay. Right, okay. Got my maps right there. Alright. Now we'll let me touch on something right. Yeah, this is right here. Yeah. Now, as you know, governments, United States governments, but other governments around the world, they enact laws, and those laws are intended, for the safety of the general public. And one of the laws that the United States government passed is the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, and Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act is a Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization Act, or the RICO Act. And the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970, the Controlled Substance Act, the Psychotropic Substances Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, or Kingpin Statute. Now, all these laws anti-gang. Now, the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, as well as other related legislation as anti-gang. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and Comprehensive Gang Model, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Office of Justice Program, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the United States Department of Justice, Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Project Safe Neighborhoods. True. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Community-Oriented Policing Service, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, United States Department of State, Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistance Education and Training, the GREAT Program. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention in October 2009. The National Youth Gang Center, excuse me. The National Youth Gang Center, which had been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which had been funded by the Bureau of Justice Assistance since 2003. Now, the National Gang Center compilates of state laws against gangs. You can go to the National Gang Center website and you can be informed about the compilation of state laws against gangs. Gang Prevention Overview of Research and Program, Mr. James C. Howe, Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, National Gang Center Bulletin. Now the title of that bulletin is History of Street Gangs in the United States. Read the books in the bulletin. There's to refer to. Read the books. I know I haven't had all the time to read the whole bulletin myself, but like I say, there are books in the bulletin. Read the books. Also, you go to Wikipedia, you can find the same information in the title, Gangs in the United States. And read the books. United States Department of Justice, Office of the United States Attorney Manual, 1457 Criminal Street Gang Statute 18, United States Code 521. The United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, National Gang Intelligence Center, United States Department of Justice, Organized Crime and Gang Section, as well as other federal, state, and local agencies. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategies, Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, and Suppression. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the National Institute of Justice, United States Department of Health and Human Services, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, Changing Course, Preventing Gang Membership, the United States Department of Justice, the United States Department of Education, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Labor, and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention, FORM. You go to youth.gov, you can be informed about the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Comprehensive Gang Model, as well as the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention. United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, National Crime Prevention Council, Keeping Kids Out of Gangs, and also anti-hazing. Go to lawyers.com, be informed about anti-hazing. Also, with changing course, you can also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. It's so important, to inform, to educate people and to inform people that the government is doing, making an effort to address organized crime and gangs. You understand? Because you always hear the general public, the government is not doing enough. The government is not doing anything. You hear those complaints, those people, complaining and the gripes, and people just dissatisfied with the government, and the government is putting forth an effort to address this issue. You understand? To stop this organized crime and gang stuff. And like I say, it's important that you inform people, because people try to make excuses, as you know. They'll make up all kind of lies at the street level. See, at the street level, people do stuff. They be in their house, they be in their, they be in their own house, or they be at their business behind closed doors. They'll be in the back room playing poker, and they'll be talking about some gang stuff while they're playing poker. And or they'll be in some women's playing bingo, and they'll be at the sports bar talking about some gang stuff, but it's important that you inform people that the government is doing something about the gang, because they're a lot. As you can see, they're like all these celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainers. They try to influence the general public through entertainment, and the government is doing, put forth the effort to stop this gang stuff, and we just have to keep encouraging our elected officials. Excuse me. That the work that they're doing, the laws that they pass, those laws are needed, and we're gonna continue, to work until we stop this organized crime gang mess. Now, some issues that we want to address is really a continuance of what we've been having to discuss. It's about this gang that the Confederates, the Confederate flag and the Confederate statues, the Confederate history, the history of the Confederate here in the United States of America. Gang, the gang that came over. When you read the bulletin that we was talking about, and it tells you about the excuse me. And in the bulletin it tells you about the people who came over from Europe, the Germans and the Latins came over, immigrated from Europe, from Western Europe. Let's say we're gonna get to the map. I got the maps. We're gonna get the maps, but we want to make sure we discuss the issue because it's related, but it's been a continuing thing with this gang stuff on the East Coast and here in America, and then spreads around the world, and the past weeks, what they call them, the Nazis and the white supremacists. Excuse me. They all lumped in together. The Ku Klux Klan. No matter what they call themselves, they all some bunch of idiots, and walking up and down the street and being violent and saying all kind of ridiculous stuff. That but Charlottesville, then it went from Charlottesville to Richmond, Virginia. But it was this group, Antifa, and the Antifa, they supposed to be what they call anti-Nazi. You understand? Anti-white supremacists and all this, right? It's a gang. And not just the Antifa people, but it's the more people who don't call themselves Antifa, but they call themselves anti-white supremacists. It's a gang. It's some gang money. And so all they was doing is trying to reinforce the gang. See, trying to keep that influence, keep having the influence, so they'll go out there and start talking about some anti-white supremacists, so they can keep having influence. See, and that's the same thing Antifa did. They'll sit out there and try to have influence with the same people that they've been trying to have influence with. So I'm anti-Nazi. So I'm anti-white supremacy. And then on the other side, they'll sit around talking about I'm pro-Nazi and I'm pro-white supremacist, and then they went out there in the street and they got into a altercation, got into a confrontation, in Charlottesville. Then it went from Charlottesville to Richmond, Virginia. It really went all over the country, spread all over the country with the help of the news media. You know, and but like I say, last week they had the unite the right. Yeah, Unite the Right rally. They had a Unite the Right rally, and it was the new Confederate States of America last week. And you know, but what I found out this week, it's related to the same thing, and it's just really the same people. And I was reading in Newsweek online. I read in Newsweek. In Richmond, Virginia, they are going to, it's a monument, supposed to be anti-slavery. That's right, everybody. Anti-slavery monument. And it's going to be in Richmond, Virginia. And there was some controversy because they wanted to include Nat Turner. Everybody know who Nat Turner is. He was the slave that rebelled against slavery, and there was an uprising, and the slave owners ended up getting killed by Nat Turner. And the uprising didn't last long. He ended up eventually being apprehended, and he ended up getting hung. But it's an anti-slavery monument, and it's going to be in Richmond, Virginia. Now, see, here we go. It starts on the East Coast, and it continues to be on. You see, the same stuff, trying to have influence through the game, and it's the same people trying to influence the same people. See. So, it's a continuing, they're constantly doing the same thing, trying to have influence. And, one more, we're going to continue, to talk about these issues, man. And, some that just, kind of, I really just ain't really just paying no attention. It's not like, I'm not trying. I don't want to say ignore, but it just didn't really just interest me. I wasn't interested in what he was saying, you know what I'm saying? You know how you hear somebody saying stuff, and then when you hear stuff, you just you don't get involved in what they involved in, because you don't be interested in it, because you just don't. The thing that your point of view don't resonate with me. Your point of view don't resonate with me. So I don't get involved in what you're talking about. And what I'm getting to is, as a football player, professional athlete, celebrity athletes and all this. And, first, before I even mention the name, first we want to see, we're still dealing with the issue in this country about the history of slavery and prejudice, hatred, discrimination. That's a bigotry, and hatred and prejudice and racism and all these issues we still continue to deal with here in America as well as around the world. It hadn't gone away, and there are various methods and ways that people all over the world use to address bigotry hatred, prejudice, discrimination, racism, sexism, inequality. People have various methods and ways of addressing the issue. Now, some people be sincere. Let me say that again. Some people be sincere, you know. And then there are other people who are not sincere. Who are not sincere. They're not sincere. They may participate in some of the act, you know, some of the like let's just say, for example, when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Was out marching, protesting, you know, against segregation and, you know, against the injustice in America. There were some people who were sincere. There were people around him, and, you know, I'm gonna be specific. We talking about African Americans who were sincere about trying to bring about a change. Who wanted to make a change. They didn't want no more segregation. They didn't want no more discrimination. Now, let me say this. There were some people. That's right. There were some people who didn't want no change. That's right. You may not believe it. You may not even want to accept it, but it's true. There are some people who did not want a change. They were content with the discrimination. They were content. You understand? And the same thing, just like today. Some people, there are a lot of people, you know, they just say, what they call it, police profiling. You understand? Some people are sincere. Some people are sincere in the African American community. When we talk about this, I'm gonna be specific. We're talking about African Americans. We're not gonna get nobody else involved. There are African Americans who are sincere about trying to change, you know. Then there are others who may not be interested, you understand, may not agree with your way of doing things, may not, you know, see the sincerity is not there. They're not sincere. You know, for whatever reason, you know, they not, you know, they're not interested, you know. And so, when it comes to, you know, see what I'm talking about. See, it's gonna come back to this football player, and then you're gonna realize that it's so much. You see what's been going on in Virginia. You see what's been going on in North Carolina. You see how things been going, you know, these incidents that happen. Some things don't always make the news. And then you have a celebrity athlete, you understand, that it's, you know, make the news. Let's just say make the news. And when you make the news, you make the news in a way, you know, that there was no real you know, I don't want to say interest, But there was no real, like, what I'm saying is that once you did all this, once you initiated, something, there was no, like, people felt empathy. There was no, like, people understood where you were coming from. You understand? There was, you're a celebrity athlete, and when you did something, there was no empathy. There was no understanding. See, but see, the issues, just like poverty. People can talk about welfare, and they had a big, falling out. People were shouting back and forth, and people got in each other's face, and people got really, emotional. They got really involved about food stamps and welfare, poverty. You understand? There were a lot of people, and it's related to racial issues, gender issues involved, about food stamps and welfare. You understand? And so when a celebrity athlete do something, the issue is not just, like that old saying, it's not in a box. It's not in a box. It's not just this little, it's a big issue. And it involves a lot of people on this planet, on this earth. It involves a lot of people on this earth. So when you initiate something about an issue that's so sensitive, it's so, it's such a issue, man, that when you, like I said, when you do something or when you say something, it should be understood by now that the majority of people gonna comprehend where you're coming from. Now, today, because there's been so much. First of all, it was so much wrong that had been done. First of all, it was so much wrong that had been done to so many people. It's so much wrong that had been done. See, one thing about wrong, just like the oppressor, when you identify somebody, you say, it's just like slave. Let's just say slave, and then and when you say that the Germans and the Latins, understand, the oppressor, the slavers, the Arabs in the East African slave trade, the West African slave thing. One of the things that we want to deal with, that we never deal with, is the wrong that you did to the oppressor. See, that's something that you don't never ever do. Because there are generations. See, what you got to remember is that it's a generation of Latins and Germans today, living today. And how could you correct the wrong and see the Latins and Germans today? See, it's wrong that was done to the Latins and the Germans. Some people had taught them wrong. See, that's one of the things that's been pointed out. It's about how you was taught and what you was taught. See, people was teaching people the wrong thing. See, and then when you taught people the wrong thing, they did wrong. But see, that's the wrong that had to be corrected. You had to deal with some people that had to be dealt with, like for instance, the Ku Klux Klan walking around. Somebody taught somebody to walk around and call themselves the Ku Klux Klan. See, you got to deal with that. You got to address the wrong. See, you got to address the wrong. You talk about a white police officer doing something wrong, you got to deal with the wrong. Somebody taught somebody to do wrong. Somebody taught somebody to do wrong. That's the reason why they're trying to have police, what they call these police review boards, and they try to review the training of the police officers. Do you comprehend now? They have all around this country. They're trying to review the police training all around this country. They're trying to have sensitivity training for all the police officers, because in the past they have been taught wrong. They have been trained wrong. So now we got to correct the wrong. See, this is what. See, all this celebrity athlete, celebrity entertainer. See, that's the reason why when I first heard about it, I didn't really say anything about it. Because when I seen it, I didn't even want to say anything about it. Because when I seen what a person had done, then I seen the reaction. I seen the response from the general public. There was no need for me to say anything. There was no need for me to say anything. Because the general public, initially didn't really just, they really just didn't comprehend, they really just didn't, feel where you was coming from. They didn't, they just gone. They didn't really feel you. You understand? They really didn't feel you, man. Including me. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't feel nothing. I didn't, I'm just gonna, because it's a serious, thing. Talking about race and gender, nationalism, terrorism, just talking about violence. It's a serious issue. You understand? It's serious, man. It's serious. When you see people getting hurt, getting killed, getting crimes being committed, all the taxpayer money that goes into trying to deal with crime. You understand? It's a serious issue. So when I thought about it, when I very first heard about a celebrity athlete, and when I seen what he had done, I just kept on, like they were saying, I kept on walking. I just kept on doing what I was doing, kept on walking. Even when I heard on the news or whatever, I just kept on walking and just kept going about my day and about my business, man, because I just didn't feel none of that. I didn't feel none of that. And I knew I was right. And I'm still saying the same thing, I'm right. Because I know that when you let's just say, just like the police review board, I knew, see, that's how I know I'm right. Because when you see that there are people who are sincere, that's how you know people are sincere. When you look all around this country, all around America, and when you see what the general public all around this country had to do to try to get the police department, you understand, to stop violating the rights of African Americans and Latino, Hispanic Americans, and just Americans in general. Stop violating people's rights. You understand? Just everybody, women, men, children, even the little children. You understand? Little girls and boys being killed by the police. You understand? We had to have what they call a citizens review board, because it's serious. But see, that's how you know you're sincere. See, that's when the sincerity shows. When you do something, and when you get something done. When you get something done, that's when you know people are sincere. That's how you know. All around this country, you look all around this country, you see laws getting passed. You see a change being made. You see a change, not for the worse, but for the better. See, that's the reason why when I seen a celebrity athlete, I really wasn't I didn't feel that. I didn't feel, you understand? And you pretty much got an idea of who I'm talking about, because every Sunday on the football field, you understand, you got to, I don't know what gave you the impression that you got to do that. And then behind it, I look at people, and then I try to see some of these individuals that say things, like, they try to make it sound like they support this person and all that, you understand? But let's go ahead and get to it. This Copernic person, what's his name? Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback. And see, this one I'm finna put to everybody. You see, when I first heard about him doing it, this is what I want to show you. When you deal with an issue, man, people been dealing with these issues for a long time. This ain't nothing, like that old saying, this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new to everybody here in America. It ain't nothing new. There's a whole lot of people walking around been dealing with race, homosexuals, you understand, abortion. I mean, it's all kind of issues. People been dealing with issues for years, for a long time. Matter of fact, Dick Gregory, he just passed away. You see where I'm coming from now? You see where I'm coming from? Dick Gregory just passed away. He just passed away, about 2 weeks ago? Not 2 weeks ago, for example. For years, been dealing with all these issues. For years, man. A whole lot of people been trying to bring about a change before you was even born. Like that old saying, man, before you was even born. Before you was born, I was out doing things. I'm saying? The reason why you on a football field, somebody throw that out there. The reason why you on a football field, because of Dick Gregory. You wouldn't even be on the football field for Jim Brown. You see what I'm talking about? See, it's people walking around that have done things for years. For years, man, before you was born. Before you was born. See? That's the reason why when I heard something about the national anthem, man, I was like, man, this is what I wanted. This is what I want to bring up. I said, you're a celebrity athlete. You be in the spotlight. You on the football team. You got wide receivers. They in key positions. They on the field too. They're star players too. The wide receiver, the running back, fullback, halfback. Your backfield. They celebrities too. Your line, your offensive line, they be on ESPN giving interviews. They celebrities too. Your offensive line, the ones that protect the quarterback, they celebrities too. Your tight end, they're celebrity. Celebrity athlete. Your defensive line, your linebackers. You remember like Ray Lewis, for example, played for the Baltimore Ravens, one of the hardest hitting linebackers. Celebrity athlete. then your cornerbacks, then your safety, free safety, strong safety, celebrity, and then your coach. Coach win games, coach lose games, celebrity. You understand? The owner. But this is the thing I wanted to talk about is that when you on a team and it's something that need to be talked about, such as race and all this is what I want to ask a question. Did you ever have a meeting with the other players? Because see, like I was saying, they all celebrities, and you know how everybody, how celebrities have foundations, and they have their own organization, they philanthropic endeavors, and then the team have philanthropic endeavors like the United Way, for example, the NFL and the United Way, and then the team, each individual team, they do things in the community, and to support like children's hospitals and all the things that businesses do to give back to the community. You understand? They give back. Non-profit organization that they start, and so I was sitting there, I was like, well, by you being a African American, and everybody else on the team, a lot of players on the team, and then the other players on the team, non-African American, Europeans, and the thing about it is, did you have a meeting with anybody? Did anybody talk with Copernicus? Colin, did they talk? Was this something he just did one day? And because that's the way I felt about it when I seen him do it. I felt like it was something that he done, and when he did it, you see the reaction, how the team looked. You see where I'm coming from? When he did it, it was like people were looking around. Some of the other players and some of the other African American players didn't even know what he was doing. They didn't even expect anything like that to happen. You know what I'm saying? It was like he just did something and they really didn't know why or what, where, when, you know what I'm saying? And so I thought about it like, man, there was no, you know what I'm saying, there was no, we didn't talk. There was no talk. We didn't talk about anything. You understand? And that's why I'm having a problem with how you gonna be trying to address something and you don't interact. You don't interact with your teammates, and then you didn't have a meeting with the quarterback coach. You didn't have no meeting with the offensive line, with the offensive coordinator, saying, look, man, I'm having some issues about race, and I'm having some issues with prejudice, and I seen some stuff on the news, and I'm just trying to deal with it, because everybody don't deal with issues on the news the same. It's a known fact. It's a known fact. You can put some people in front of television, and you can turn the news on, and people don't react to the news the same, no matter what it is. You understand? No matter what it is, you can put the O.J. Simpson trial in front of people. You can put some white Americans, European Americans, and turn the O.J. trial on. You will swear up and down that all the white people would be against O.J. That's not true. That's not true. And you will swear up and down. You put some African Americans in front of television talking about O.J. Simpson. You'll swear up and down that everybody in the room will be jumping up and down trying to support O.J. Simpson. But I guarantee you go find the prosecuting attorney that tried to lock him up. That'll be one person that won't be helping, that won't, because of all the evidence and all, what was the African American prosecuting attorney. There's one person that I know that you put in front of a television talking about O.J. Simpson, that'll be sitting there talking about he need to be locked up He's a murderer. You see? So people don't see the issues the same. And so when we talk about this Colin Kaepernick, see, that's what I didn't feel. When you do something, it was like the team, and then even after he did it, when you listen to what the players, the African American players, and then it's like you alienated the European players, and we live in a different day and time. We, the country that moved forward, a whole lot forward, past the way it used to, like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? This 2017, we can talk to each other in a different way, and we can try to address issues with some humanity, and not just point fingers at each other and just put the blame and just constantly throwing insults back at each other and just you right and you wrong and all this. We can talk to each other with love in our hearts for our fellow man, and try to address, no matter what the issue is, we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point, is that you don't put people in a position to think that excuse, getting down on a knee or sitting down and talking about the national anthem, and then you think that what you're doing is right. And then when you ask him why he did that, because of oppression in America. Well, let me tell you something about oppression, man. People can say the same thing about you, being an oppressor. See? People can say the same thing about you, being an oppressor. The women, let's just start. The women in the community, celebrity athlete. I guarantee if I go out there on the community, I guarantee you'll hear some stuff. I guarantee you. I go out there on the street, I guarantee some of them women gonna say some stuff about the celebrity athlete. They're gonna say something. I guarantee they're gonna say something about you. Somebody can say the same thing about you. You're an oppressor. The thing about it, see, like I said, you got to talk about it. And when you see that you didn't do that, and then everybody else started seeing that you didn't try to talk, and see, that's another thing. Is when you know that there are people in the community, let's just say this, like the NAACP, the Urban League, different organizations. Whatever the issue you had a problem with, don't make it sound like you had to, sit down on Sunday. Don't make it sound like you had to wait till Sunday doing a football, at the national, playing of the national anthem. I'm just gonna sit down. I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna get down on one knee with all this, on Sunday. But let me ask you this. Since you waited till Sunday, what was you doing on Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday? What was you doing then? Because the news media, they got cameras. The news media got cameras. You're a celebrity athlete. So what was you doing all them other days of the week? So you waited till Sunday on football day to sit down while they playing the national anthem, and you make it sound like that was right. So let me ask you a question. What was you doing about that issue that you wanted to sit down on Sunday about? What was you doing on the other days of the week? Celebrity athlete. What was you doing? What was you doing? Did you have a meeting with the general manager of the team? See, this is how I know. See, this is what I show people about a celebrity athlete. Since you're a celebrity athlete, did you get in contact with ESPN and have a meeting? This is what I want to ask. Did you have a meeting with the general manager of the team? See, that's what I want to get to. See, because every team got a general manager. Every team got a general manager, they got a management. They got management. They got the head coach, assistant coach, human resource manager to deal with issues like that, personnel, or what they call personnel, deal with personnel. Did you have a meeting? See, when you're sincere, it shows. When you're sincere, it shows. When you're not sincere, it shows. It shows. Ain't no way in hell you gon' make me think you sincere. Ain't no way. Because I'm still sitting there and I see it. I'm talking about when people really look and just look at him, you will see he not sincere. You'll see. I'm telling you, man. If you you just watch him, and you go back, you will see that he not sincere. He not sincere. He not sincere, man. See, sometimes you find people, man, that'll take these issues, man, and they'll what they call exploit. You know what I'm saying? An attempt to make a name for myself. You understand? And it don't work. It don't work. Only thing you're doing is showing your stupidity. And you really showing people that, man, that there are people walking around. It's just like when, let me give you an example. The police shooting. Let me give you an example. They just say Mike Brown. That incident that happened in Ferguson, Missouri. See, I'm gonna give you an example. The situation that happened in Ferguson, Missouri. I'm just gonna let you sit there and think about it. Let you think about it. I'm just gonna let everybody sit there and think about this situation and think about this celebrity athlete. Just take a moment, just just sit there and think about, what happened in Ferguson, Missouri, then what, the protests and and then even today, Ferguson, Missouri today. Just sit there and think about it. And think about Colin Kaepernick. Just sit there and think about it. Here it is, 2017. You just take a moment and just sit there and think. Okay, now we ain't thought about it. I'm just gonna leave it with you. I'm gonna leave everybody there to I'm just gonna leave it, let you see for yourself. Like that old saying, sometimes instead of telling somebody something, it's better to let you see for yourself. And like I said, I'll move on to something else. But like I said, I wanted to make sure that we address that. We're gonna come back. By tomorrow. See, everybody had time to go back to try to look and see. But I mean, that's what it takes sometimes for people to, to look around. And I'm gonna tell you this: being an African American, there are many issues. You understand? If you want to talk about oppression, it's many issues: jobs, poverty, education, abortion, HIV, AIDS. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it's so many issues, man, that you want to get down on one knee on Sunday, football day, wait till Sunday, if I ask all the players, even today, did y'all have a meeting? Have y'all sat down at each other's house, sat down and, y'all talk about issues, you know what I'm saying? I guarantee when I ask, just ask an honest question, have y'all talked, about, some, like, what we want to know, like what we want to do about oppression, you know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, watch what you find out. Say, man, be honest with you, I haven't heard from him, and I don't even know him personally, I just know him on the football field and other teams, like the Cowboys and the Steelers and the Patriots, and they African Americans too. You want to talk about oppression? Ask some of these guys where they came from. The neighborhood they growed up in. I mean, you want to talk about oppression? You want to get down on one knee when you be on the football field? Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real, man. When you see all these African American players, and let me just say this: what about the coach? You want to talk about oppression? You want to get down on one knee? Huh? Talking about the coach, the general manager, and then some of these African American women. What kind of jobs they got at the NFL? You want to talk about oppression. You want to get down on one knee. You understand? So like I said, you gonna wait till Sunday to get down on one knee? Talk about oppression. See, that's what I be talking about, somebody being an oppressor. Somebody can say the same thing about you. Say the same thing about you. Here you as a celebrity athlete. Somebody can say the same thing about you. You're an oppressor. Now, what I want to do is, we was talking about having a smartphone, and we was talking about gang and mob and all this, right? And we talking about the dictionary and things like this. And got my dictionary right here. Okay, I got my dictionary. Merriam-Webster. And I got my Merriam-Webster thesaurus. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to read from the dictionary, but we're going to go online too for a reason. Let's see here. I don't have to take my glasses off. Gang. Okay, there it is. Alright. Okay, now, gonna read the word. I'm gonna read the definition of gang in the dictionary, and then I'm gonna go to the thesaurus. Then we're gonna go to mob, and then I'm also gonna get thug. All right, here we go. Gang. It's a noun. It's a noun. Gang is a noun. Number one, a set of implements or devices arranged to operate together. Number two, a group of persons working or associated together, especially a group of criminals or young delinquents. Okay? Now, this gang number two, it's a verb. Gang number two is a verb. Gang number one is a noun. So now we're on gang number two. It's a verb. Number one, to attack in a gang. Usually used with up, like gang up on somebody. Alright? Number two, to form into or move or act as a gang. Alright? So we got two. We got gang number one, it's a noun, and we got gang number two, it's a verb. Alright? Sorry. Okay, now we're in the thesaurus. We're in the thesaurus. Gang is a noun. Number one, a group of people working together on a task. A gang of neighborhood residents spent the weekend cleaning up the park. Okay. Synonyms: band, company, crew, outfit, party, squad, team. Alright, related words: army, battalion, brigade, corps, troop, force, host, posse, stable, troop, administration, department, health, personnel, staff. Number two, a group of people sharing a common interest and relating together socially. The whole gang went out for pizza. The school's computer hackers had their own little gang. Okay? Synonym: body, bunch, circle, clan, clique, community, coterie, crowd, fold, lot, ring, set. Then you have your related words: bevy, covey, flock, herd, horde, mob, swarm, throng, club, college, fellowship, guild, league, organization, society, cohort, pack, camp, faction, sect, side, tribe, mess, squad, brotherhood, fraternity, order, sisterhood, sodality, sorority, commune, alliance, block, coalition, confederation, congress, council, federation, and union. And then you have your near antonyms: loner and individualist. And then you have number three, a group involved in secret or criminal activity. See ring. Number one. See ring number one. Okay. Now let's go to mob. Okay, now we got mob. Number one, mob number one. It's a noun. Mob number one is a noun. Okay, it's Latin. It's telling you it's Latin. Mobile focus. Facilitating crowd. Number one, masses or rabble. Number two, a disorderly crowd. Number three, a criminal gang. Now, mob number two is a verb. Mob or mobbing. Okay, number one, to crowd about and attack or annoy. Mob by fans. Number two, to crowd into or around. Shoppers mob stores. Okay, so that's mob. When you have mob number one is a noun, and mob number two is a verb. Okay, now I'm in the thesaurus. Mob is a noun. Mob is a noun. Number one, a great number of persons or things gathered together. See crowd, number one. Number two, a group involved in secret or criminal activities. See ring, number one. Okay. Number three, the body of the community as contrasted with the elite. See mass, number one. Now, mob is a verb, to move upon or feel something in great numbers. See crowd, number two. Okay, so that's mob. We have mob as a noun. We have mob as a verb. Now we're going to go to thug. Okay. Now we're in the dictionary. Okay, with thug. It's a noun. It says Hindi and Urdu. Thag literally means thief. And it said a brutal ruffian or assassin. So it tells us it's Hindi and Urdu. Thag literally means thief. A brutal ruffian or assassin. Okay, so let's go to the thesaurus. Okay, we're in the thesaurus now. Thug. It's a noun. It's a noun. A violent, brutal person who is often a member of an organized gang. See hoodlum. So that's thug. It's a noun. A violent, brutal person who is often a member of an organized gang. See who? Okay. Now, what we want to do now, we want to go online. Now we read from Merriam-Webster dictionary and thesaurus. So now we're gonna go online and we're on Merriam-Webster dictionary.com. So we got gang number one.
Gang.
Gang. It's a verb. Gang number one is a verb. Okay? The definition of gang in transitive verb over there in Scotland means go. It means go. Okay, we got recent examples of gang from the web. We're going to scroll down now. We want to get to the origin and etymology of gang. Remember we was talking about linguistics. Etymology is a branch of linguistics. Linguistics is the study of language. Okay, it says here Middle English, gang and gong and early Scots, gang, going back to Old English, gang, gong, going back to Germanic, gang, whence Old Saxon and Old High German, gang, to go, Old Norse, gang, Gothic, what's that, gang, probably going back to Indo-European, Jing, whence also Lithuanian, Zingtai, to strive, okay. Note Old English, gang, class 7 strong verb was used more or less as a synonym of gang, the ancestor of modern English, okay. Though itself descended from Germanic ging, though forms other than the present tense and infinitive rarely occur in other Germanic languages. Cognates of gang serve and still serve as suppletive forms of the parallel cognates of gang. Compare note and gang number 2. Now, as you can see, the internet is a little more broad than the book. The book is a little limited in its information, but it still gives you the information that you need to have to know what the definition of the word is, and to know what the word is. It's a noun or a verb, you understand, or an adjective or adverb, or so on and so forth. But now we online. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. Gang number 2 is a noun. Gang number 2. Definition of gang. Number one, a set of articles, outfit, a gang of oars. Number 2, a combination of similar implements or devices arranged for convenience to act together. The dictionary did say that a gang of saws. B, group, such as number 1, a group of persons working together. Number 2, a group of persons working to unlawful or antisocial ends, especially a band of antisocial adolescents. Okay. Number 2, a group of persons having informal and usually close social relations, watching TV with the gang. Okay. Example of gang in a sentence: a gang of drug dealers. Okay, he is in a gang and he was shot by a member of a rival gang. The gang at the office. Okay. Recent example of gang from the web. And here we have the origin, etymology of gang. Middle English: going, journey, road, path, private, group of items forming a set. Going back to Old English: going, walking, journey, course, path, private. Going back to Germanic: gang, whence Old Saxon gang, walk, course, Old High German, walk, journey, passage, Old Norse ganger, going, course, Gothic gang, way, now, derivative from the base of gang, to go, more number 1, gang. Note the meaning set of articles apparently first appeared in Middle English, the now predominant meaning a group of persons in early modern English. Hypothesized instances of this sense in Middle and Old English are dubious. A direct descendant of Old English, gang, in modern English would be gang, with the face of vowel lengthening before the cluster, ng. and subsequent rounding of the long vowel and monosyllable, but this survived into modern English only in the sense private. The now generate form gang for other sense will borrow into standard English from northern dialects and Scots, where rounding never occurred. Use of both the noun and verb gang in this historical sense denoted motion or passing, now largely limited to traditional Scots. New time traveler, first known use 14th century. Gang number 3 is a verb. Definition of gang, transitive verb. Number 1, A, to assemble or operate simultaneously as a group. B, to arrange in or produce as a gang. Number 2, to attack in a gang. Hoodlums ganged him and took his money. And transitive verb, to move or act as a gang. Recent example of gang from the web. Okay. The origin, etymology, gang. Derivative of gang number 2, new time traveler, first known use. Okay. Then you got gang defined for English language learners. Gang defined for kids. Then you got the law dictionary for gang. It's a noun. And the legal definition of gang, group of persons associated for antisocial and often criminal purposes and activities. And okay. Now let's go with the Merriam-Webster thesaurus. Now we have the thesaurus. We got gang as a noun. Okay, you got synonyms and antonyms of gang. Then you got number 2 and number 3. Okay, I'm going to speed up a little bit here. Now I'm going to click over here to dictionary.com. I'm going to click over to dictionary.com. And we're going to go to gang. Alright, let's get the pronunciation.
Gang.
Gang. Now gang is a noun. Number 1, a group or band. Number 2, a group of youngsters or adolescents who associate close to often exclusive for social reasons, especially such a group engaged in delinquent behavior. Okay. A group of people with compatible tastes or mutual interests who gather together for social reasons. Okay. Number 4, a group of persons working together, squad, ship, gang of laborers. Number 5, a group of persons associated for some criminal or other antisocial purposes. Okay. Number 6, a set of tools, electronic components or circuits or the set arranged to work together or simultaneously. Number 7, a group of identical related items. Verb used with object. Number 8, to arrange in groups or sets forming to a gang. Number 9, to attack in a gang. Verb used without object. Number 10, to form or act as a gang. Verb phrases. Gang up on in form of a number of persons to unite in opposition to a person, combined against. The origin of gang, number 1, Middle English and Old English. 1350, Middle English, Old English, gang, gone, manner, going, way. Passage, cognitive with Old High German, gang, Old Norse, gang, Gothic, gag. Synonyms, company, crowd, group, party, say, click, quartering, team. Gang number 2.
Gang.
Gang number 2. Verb, used without object, chiefly Scottish and Northern England, to walk or go. Origin, before 900, Middle English, gang, gang, Old English, gang, gang, gone, gang, cognitive, with Old High German, gang, gang, Old Norse, gang, gang, Gothic. Noun derivative from same base. Example from the web for gang. British Dictionary definition for gang. Now, number 1, a group of people who associate together or act as an organized body, especially for criminal or illegal purposes. Number 2, an organized group of men. And the button here. There you go. Okay. Number 3, a herd of buffaloes or elks or a pack of wild dogs. Number 4, New Zealand, a group of shearers who travel to different shearing sheds, shearing class, and battling wood. Number 5, series. A series similar to the range of work simultaneous parallel. B, modified gangs, how verb. Number 6, to form into, become part of, or act as a gang. Number 7, translate electron to mount 2 or more components such as variable capacity on the same shaft and being adjusted by a single control. Derived form, gang, adjective. Word origin. Old English gang, German related to Old Norse gang or Old High German gang. Sanskrit, Jung, hey, foot. Okay, gang, verb. Number 1, Scott, to go. Word origin, Old English, gang, to go. Alright. Okay, word origin and history for gang from Old English gang and going, journey, way past, and Old Norse gang. A group of men that set both from Proto-German and gang as Old Saxon, Old Frisian, Danish, Dutch, Old High German, German gang, Old Norse gang. Got the gag, act of going from pi, root, jing, the step. Sanskrit, jung, a, shank. Lithuanian. Okay, then the sense evolution would probably be a meaning, a set of articles that usually are taken together and joined and going. Especially a set of two used on the same job. By 1620, this had been extended nautical speech to me and come their workmen. And by 1630, the word was being used with disapproval overtone for any band of person traveling together, gangway, preserve the original sense of the word. It does gangplank. Okay, all right. Now we're gonna go past the thesaurus. We're gonna go right over here to Cambridge. Okay, gang is a noun. Look at pronunciation.
Gang.
Gang. Okay, wait a minute. That was American. Let's get to English. Okay, there we go. Gang is a noun. Okay, let's get to UK.
Gang.
Gang. US.
Gang.
Alright. A group of young people, especially young men, who spend time together, often fighting with others, with other groups, and behaving badly. Okay. A group of criminals who work together. A group of friends. Okay. A group of workers or prisoners who work together. Okay, let's click over here to Oxford. Okay, gang number 1 is get pronunciation.
Gang.
Gang is a noun and organized group of criminals. A group of young people involved in petty crime or violence. A group of people, especially young people who regularly associate together. An organized group of people doing manual work. A set of switches, sockets, or other electrical or mechanical devices grouped together. Verb. Now we just read gang number 1's a noun. Gang number 1's a noun. Now we're going to gang number is a verb. Gang is a verb. Ganged up. Of a number of people form a group or gang. Gang up, join together in order to intimidate or oppose someone. Arrange electrical devices or machines together to work with coordination. Origin. Old English from Old Norse ganger. Gate, course, going, a German origin related to the gang. The original meaning was going in German, later in Middle English, a way, also a set of things or people which go together. Pronunciation, gang.
Gang.
Alright, gang number 2.
Gang.
Verb, no object. Scottish, go, proceed. Alright, origin, Old English, gang. Of Germanic origin, related to go.
Gang.
Alright, let's go over to college. Okay, definition of gang to get pronunciation.
Gang.
Gang. Countable noun. A gang is a group of people, especially young people, who go around together and often deliberately cause trouble. Countable noun. A gang is a group of criminals who work together to commit crime. Single down, a gang is a group of friends who frequently meet. Number 4, counting nine, gang is a group of workers who do physical work together. Phrasal verbs, gang in America.
Gang.
Gang. Noun, a group of people associated together in some way. A group of workers directed by a foreman. B, an organized group of criminals. C, a squad of convicts that work. D, a group of youths from one neighborhood banded together for social reasons, obviously, specifically ban of juvenile delinquents. Number 2, is set up like tool, machine, components, etc. designed or arranged to work together. Number 3, a very large number of personal things, verb and transit. Number 4, U.S. to form or be associated in a gang with up. Verb transit. Number 5, U.S. and form to attack as a gang. Number 6, U.S. to arrange in a gang or coordinate set, getting gang up on. Word origin of gang, Middle English, band or coming. Originate, going, journey, Old English. Base of gang.
Gang.
Gang in America. Verb and transit Scottish, to go or work. Word origin of gang, Middle English, gang, Old English, gang. Akin to Old North, gang. What's that? Got the gang, to go. Basic Jim. Okay, now gang in British.
Gang.
It's a noun. Number 1, a group of people who associate together or act as an organized body, especially for criminal or illegal purposes. Number 2, an organized group of workmen. Number 3, a herd of buffaloes or elks or a pack of wild dogs. Number 4, New Zealand, a group of shearers who travel to different shearing sheds, shearing class, and baling wool. Number 5, a series of similar tools arranged to work simultaneously and parallel. To form a tool or become part of or act as a gang. To mount 2 or more components such as a barrel capacitor on the same shaft, permitting adjustment by a single control. Okay. Derived form, word origin of gang, Old English, gang, journey, relates to Old Norse, gang, or Old High German, gang. Sanskrit, John A. Foot, gang in British.
Gang.
Verb, Scottish, to go. Word origin of gang, Old English, gang, to go. Gang in British.
Gang.
Alright, then we have example sentences in there. No, you didn't translate for gang, noun and verb. Alright. Then click over here to Macmillan. Gang. Okay. Good pronunciation.
Gang.
Gang. A group of young people who spend time together and often cause trouble. A group of criminals working together. Inform. A group of friends, especially young people. Number 4, a group of workers who do physical work. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to the dictionary with thesaurus. Gangster and mobster. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look up mob. Go ahead and look up mob. Then I'm going to go back to the dictionary and thesaurus. Okay. There we go. Okay, this mob number one. Get pronunciation.
Mob.
Mob is a noun. Mob is a noun. Definition of mob: a large or disorderly crowd, especially one bent on riotous or destructive action. Number 2, the lower classes of a community, mass or rabble. Number 3, chiefly Australian, a flock, drove, or herd of animals. Number 4, a criminal set. Gang, especially often capitalized mafia. Number 5, form a group of people, crowd, mob-ish. Examples of mob in the sentence. Recent example of mob from the web. The origin and etymology of mob, Latin, mobile vocus. facilitate crowd. Then you have mob synonyms. Mob number 2 is a verb. Transitive verb. To crowd about an attack or annoy. Mob by autograph hunters and crow. Mob by songbird. Number 2, to crowd into or around customer mob in stores on sale days. Example of mob in a sentence. First known use mob 1696. Mob synonym phrasing. Mob defined for English language learners. Mob as a verb. Mob as a noun, definitely mob for students. Okay. Mob as a verb, definitely mob for students. Okay. Excuse me. Let's go to dictionary.com. Dictionary.com. Mob.
Mob.
Mob. It's a noun. Number 1, a disorderly riotous crowd of people. Number 2, a crowd bent on or engaged in loud violence. Number 3, any group or collection of persons or things. Number 4, the common people, the mass of populace or multitude. A criminal gang, especially one involved in drug trafficking, extortion. The mob, mafia. Number 7, socialized group of persons stimulating one another to excitement, losing ordinary rational control over their activity. Number 8, a flock, herd, or drove of animals. Number 9, adjective of, relating to, or characteristic of a lawless, irrational, disorderly, or riotous crowd. Number 10, directed at or reflecting the lowest intellectual level of the common people. Verb, used with object. Number 11, to crowd around, noise led from curiosity or hostility. Number 12, to attack any riotous mob. Number 13, fox hunting, to chop a fox. Origin of mob. Number 1, Latin, 1680 and 1690. Short for Latin, mobile vocus, the move. Changeable, inconstant, common people. Mob number 2.
Mob or mob.
Mob or mob. It's a noun. Okay, now that was that one. Okay, then you got mob. The British Dictionary definition for mob is a noun. Mob abbreviation, word, origin, and history for mob. The noun 1680, disorderly part of the population, rabble, slang, shortening of mobile, mobility, common people, populace, rabble. 1670, problem with a conscious play on nobility. From Latin, mobile vocus, fickle, common people, the phrase attested. 1600 in English from mobile, neuter, of mobilis, fickle, movable, mobile. In Australia and New Zealand, used without disparagement for a crowd, meaning gang of criminals working together. It's from 1839, originally of thieves or pickpockets. American English sense of organized crime in general is from 1927. Alright. Let's click over here to Cambridge. Okay. Mob is a noun. Oh, wait a minute. English. Mob is a noun. UK.
Mob.
US.
Mob.
Usually disapproving a large, angry crowd, especially one that could easily become violent. A group of people who are friends or who are similar in some way. An organization of criminals. Mob is a verb. UK.
Mob.
Mob. US.
Mob.
To come together around someone in a crowd to express admiration, interest, or anger. When birds are small animals mob a bigger one, or more frightening bird or animal that is hunting them, they attack it together and force it to go away. Okay, let's click over here to Oxford. Okay, mob.
Mob.
Mob. So now a large crowd of people, especially one that disorderly intent on causing trouble or violence. British informer. A group of people in the same place over something in common. Australian, Aboriginal, extended family or community. The mob, the ordinary people. Verb with object. Crowd around someone or into a place in an unruly way. Of a group of birds or mammals surrounding an attack, a predator or other source of threat in order to drive it off. Origin, late 17th century, abbreviation archaic. Mobile, short for Latin mobile boat, the side of a crowd.
Mob.
Let's go over here to Collins. We're over here on Collins. Definition of gang. Oh, excuse me. Oh, over here on mob. Okay, there we go. Mob.
Mob.
Mob. Number one common noun. A mob is a large, organized, out-divided crowd of people. Singular noun, you can refer to the people involved in organized crime as the mob. Singular noun. People sometimes use the mob to refer in a disapproving way to the majority of people in their crowd, in their country or place, especially when these people are behaving in a violent or uncontrolled way. If you say that someone is being mobbed by a crowd of people, you mean that the people are trying to talk to them or get near them in an enthusiastic or threatening way. Mob.
Mob.
Is a noun. A disorderly and lawless crowd, rap, any crowd. The masses, common people, collectively. Informal, A gang of criminals, B, organized crime. To crowd around and attack. To crowd around and jostle, ignore, as in curiosity or anger. To fill with many people, throng. We got translation for mob. Mob is a noun. And mob is a verb.
Mob.
Mob. A large crowd of people that is dangerous or difficult to control. The mob or the mob informing an organized group of criminals such as the mafia. Belonging to or involved in an organized group of criminals. A group of people who are connected in some way. The mob, old-fashioned, an insulting word for the people from a low social class. Australian, a large group of animals. Now let's go back over here to Merriam-Webster. Look up thug. Get the pronunciation.
Thug.
Thug is a noun. A brutal ruffian or assassin, gangster or tough. The origin, minimize a thug, hand down, Urdu, thag, literary thief. Give me thug synonyms. Thug is a noun. Thug defined for kids. Yeah, okay. I got all that one. So now we over here on dictionary.com. Make sure I ain't leave anything, okay? Look it up.
Thug.
Thug is a noun, a cruel or number one, a cruel or vicious ruffian, robber, or murderer. Number two, one of a former group of professional robbers and murderers in India who strangled their victims. Okay, the origin of thug, Hindi, 1800-1810. First recorded in 1800-1810. Thug is from the Hindi word thag, literally rogue or cheat, related form of thuggery. All right. Examples from the web for thugs and all this. Thug, British Dictionary. A tough is a noun. A tough and violent man, especially criminal. Sometimes can form a member of an organization of robbers and assassins in India who typically strangle their victims. Let's see. Okay, let's click over here at Cambridge. English. Okay. Now we over on Cambridge. Thug is a noun in the U.S.
Thug.
UK.
Thug.
A man who acts violent, especially to commit a crime. Oxford University. Okay.
Thug.
Thug. It's a noun. A violent person, especially a criminal. Historic, a member of an organization of robbers and assassins in India. Devotees of the goddess Kali. The thugs waylaid and strangled their victims, usually travelers, in a ritually prescribed manner. They were suppressed by the British in the 1830s. Early 19th century, for Hindi, thag, swindler.
Thug.
Okay, we on Collins Dictionary. Thug.
Thug.
Third, okay. You can refer to a violent person or criminal as a thug. Okay. Formerly a member of an organization of robbers and assassins and anyone attempting to strangle their victims. Alright. Click over to Macmillan. Okay, mob. Pronunciation.
Mob.
Mob. A large crowd of people that are dangerous or difficult to control. The mob or the mob forming an organized group of criminals such as the mafia. A group of persons who are connected in some way. For the mob, old-fashioned. An insulting word for the people from a low social class. A straight and large group of animals. Okay, let me see here. Okay. We're looking up gangster. Now when you say gangster and gangsta, so gangsta is a noun. A member of an urban street gang. Gangster is a noun. A member of a gang of criminals. Racketeer. Now let's look up mobster. Oh, hold on. The side first. Hold on. Okay, this is gangster. This is gang. It's a noun. Gangster is a noun. A violent, brutal person who is often a member of an organized gang. See, hooligan. Okay, that was that was mobster. Okay. See if we now, mobster is a noun, a member of a criminal gang. Now, okay. Okay, gangster. Number one,
Gangster.
gangster. A member of a gang of criminal racketeer.
Gangster.
Now, a member of a gang of criminal, especially racketeer, or the okay, we on dictionary.com. We're finna click over to Cambridge University. Okay. Now, thug is a noun. U.S.
Thug.
UK.
Thug.
A man who added violence especially to commit a crime. Oh, wait a minute. Pull me on gangster. There we go. Now, gangster. We want the English. Okay, it's a noun. UK.
Gangster.
US.
Gangster.
A member of an organized group of violent criminals. Now, click on it off. Now we're on Oxford. We're on Oxford University. Gangster.
Gangster.
Gangster. A member of a gang of violent criminals.
Gangster.
Alright. Click over to Collins. The definition of gangster. Common noun gangster is a member of an organized group of violent criminals. Alright. Let's click over here and make money. Okay, mob. Pronunciation.
Mob.
A large crowd of people that is dangerous or difficult to control. The mob or the mob informant. An ordinary group of criminals such as the mafia. Alright, we're looking up mobster.
Mobster.
Definition of mob, a member of a criminal gang.
Mobster.
Okay, I think there's let me see. Gang. Yeah, mob, gang, mob, thug. He was in hand. Mob. Yeah. And gang, gangster. We did mobster, and we did thug. Okay. Yeah. But see, we want to make sure that when we read the dictionary, we know that it's a little bit limited. So we go online. Then when you're out there, you know, I got a smartphone. Other people have a smartphone. And you have individuals who call themselves going just, you know, they just gonna just walk around with their pants hanging off and wearing their hats turned to the left and the right, walking around with tattoos, talking about their 5-point star, 6-point star, all these tattoos, and then talking about you know, just talking about some. Then they had the nerve to talk about some literature. Then they had the nerve to talk about some literature. So that's how they behave. See, this how the gang and the mob. This how they behave. The gang plus stir, the mob plus stir. This how they behave. The literature. The literature. Okay, let me see that. So what I'm gonna do, like I'm running out of time. I want to make sure we get the map. Got right here. Now we know that the East African slave trade and the West African slave trade. East African slave trade, the Arabs was the group of people that was buying and selling slaves. The West African slave trade. Historical records tells us that the German groups, all the people that speak German, the German language, the English, the Scottish, Irish, and other German groups, the Dutch, the Dutch, and then you have all your Latins, the Spanish and the Portuguese, mainly the Spanish and the Portuguese mainly, and so we looking at the map, because we know that there are groups of people who did not have anything to do with slavery. They had the East African slave trade, the West African slave. There are groups of people living on the planet that have anything to do with slavery, period. Now, this is a map of the world. This is a world map. It's a world map. It's upside down. Now I'm gonna move a little bit faster. No, but I ain't gonna go too fast. I'm gonna move a little bit faster because, okay, this is this is Albanian. The Albanian people, they didn't have anything to do with East African slave trade, West African slave trade. This is the Albanian map. This is a map of Albanian language map. Okay. This is a Baltic. The Baltic language. The Baltic, the people of Lithuania and Latvia. The Baltic. They ain't had nothing to do with it. They ain't had anything to do with the East African slave trade They have nothing to do with the West African slave trade. The Baltic language speaking people. And so we know the Albanian people, Albanian speaking people, did not have anything to do with the East African slave trade, West African slave trade. We know that the Baltic speaking people in Lithuania and Latvia, they did not have anything to do with the East African slave trade or West African slave trade. The Greek people, the Greek speaking people. The Greek-speaking people did not have anything to do with the East African slave trade or the West African slave trade. Now, the Turkic people, the people that live in Turkey, the people that live in Turkey, the European nation Turkey, the Turkic speaking people, and also when you say the Turkic, it falls up under Altaic speaking people. The Turkic people are an Altaic speaking people, and let me make sure I get it right. The Altaic people. Take my glass. Hold on. Let me take my glasses off here so I can see. Okay. Okay. Turkic, and now up under the Altaic, we have the Mongolian languages, Tungusic languages, and the Turkic languages. Okay, so you have your Altaic languages, and the Turkic languages fall upon the Altaic languages. Okay, now the Turkic people, they did not have anything to do with no East African slave trade, no West African slave trade. Now, the Slavic speaking people, they did not have anything to do with the East African slave trade or the West African slave trade. The Slavic people that lived in like Russia, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Bulgaria, you understand, countries, former Yugoslavia, Serbia, Croatia. Okay, I got the map right in my hand. So the Slavic speaking people did not have anything to do with the East African slave trade or the West African slave trade. Okay. Now, the Uralic speaking people did not have anything to do with the East African slave trade or the West African traders, the West African slave trade. The Uralic speaking people, the people that live in Finland, the people that live in Hungary. You understand? In Estonia. Yeah, that's one of them. Okay, those are the Hungarians, the Finnish, I think Estonia. But those are your Uralic speaking. They did not have anything to do with the East African slave trade or the West African slave trade. Let's don't forget these man-made religious organizations. They be using Romans chapter 16, verse 16. Salute one another with an holy kiss. The church with the suffix es on the end of Christ. Salute you. Second Thessalonians chapter 1, verse number 4. So that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the ES suffix ES on the end, of God, for your patience and faith in all your persecution and tribulation, and ye endure. Now we know that there are three places in the Holy Bible that tells a lie. Talking about you're a Christian. Acts chapter 11, verse 26. Acts chapter 26, verse 28. And 1 Peter chapter 1 Peter. First Peter chapter 4, verse 16. Then you also turn to 2 Peter chapter 3. 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 15 through 18. It talks about Saul from Tarsus, self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, writing those epistles, and the Apostle Peter making it clear about those epistles. Now, we know that Saul from Tarsus is a liar. He's a thief. He's a murderer. He's a devil. He lied about his conversion. In Acts chapter 22, we know that Saul conversion. Acts chapter 9, read the whole chapter. But when he talks about his conversion, when he tells others about his conversion, Acts chapter 22, verse number 9, we know he lied. Acts chapter 22, verse number 9. And also Acts chapter 26, verses 13 and 14, because you have to turn back to Acts chapter 9. Acts chapter 26, verses 13 and 14. Turn back to Acts chapter 9. Verse number 7. Verse number 7 for both Acts chapter 22 and Acts chapter 26. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, is a liar, thief, murderer. He's a devil. Gonna come back on my next video, and we're gonna continue where we left off today. We get ready to end today's video. Again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county of Shelby, in the state of Tennessee. And thank all my fans, my support, for your continued encouragement and support. And until my next video, take care of yourself. Wish each and every one of you the very best. And always put God first.